All right, you entered a plea of guilty on May 23rd.
Right off the bat, the judge sets the stage, 7 years max, plus a hefty fine. But notice, the state is staying silent. That silence? It can change the entire outcome. Think about it. If the prosecution isn't pushing hard, who really holds the power here?
According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 7 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, and the state is silent on your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
We have, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report from either side?
No, Judge.
All right. State, you are silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Judge. I would like to call Tony Rosales.
All right. If they'll come forward, please. All right. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay.
All right. You can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Antonio Rosales.
All right.
And Judge, if I could, I guess, kind of give you some backstory, and I'm sure Megan will let me know if I missed any facts. So this incident took place in 2022. My client was a driver of a car. There were several other young men in the car.
Interesting twist. Ethan turned his life around, became a security guard, even passed background checks. But here's the kicker. This new case resurfaces, threatening to undo everything. Do you think past mistakes should haunt someone forever, even after proving change?
With him with this incident, who participated in this. Subsequent to that incident, my client had been, I guess, arrested, and then Mike Beliveau had represented him. That charge had been dismissed. Okay. Since that time, Ethan he got a job. He became a licensed security guard, passed his level 3, and was, I think, had turned his life around from this incident. And then this charge came back up, and that's what brings us here today.
So I can be sure. So he became a licensed security guard, then this charge popped up.
Yes, then this subsequent charge, yes. So he had passed all his levels. He was licensed to carry a firearm as a security guard. He had passed all the testing, all the background checks. And then I guess the case got refiled as the deadly conduct. At least 2 of the other juveniles in the car with him, I think, subsequently have been arrested and charged with capital murder. Okay, which is why he's here as a co-defendant on the deadly conduct charge. So obviously, the boys he was with that night, and it's noted in the offense report, he after work had gone to this Nathan kid's house, and that's how he ended up being involved in this situation.
And the capital murder charge has absolutely nothing to do with this offense.
No. So I guess what I just wanted to point out to the court is, since his incident in 2022, Ethan has turned his life around, has a good, productive job. He's still working as a security guard, not carrying a firearm, but just a lower level of security guard. And the reason I wanted his dad up here is to speak to a couple things. First of all, about the changes in Ethan since then, and also about the job opportunities he's got. So may I proceed?
Yes.
So Tony, I know you and I have had several conversations.
Imagine this. Ethan in uniform, gun holstered, heading to work when suddenly, boom, the indictment crashes down. That's cinematic level irony. From protecting people to standing accused of endangering them.
About Ethan and what happened that night. Can you tell the court what sort of attitude or behavior you've seen out of Ethan since this incident back in 2022?
Before and since this incident, I mean, that night he used very, very poor judgment. I mean, he made a very bad decision, but he acknowledges it. His family acknowledges. We all acknowledge what he did, and like I said, like you just said, you know, we all assumed it was resolved, and we can start trying to remove this from him, and he proceeded to get his commission with the state. He, in fact, the day he was arrested with the indictment, he was on his way to work. He was carrying his firearm. He was in uniform, and then everything came crashing down again. But that still hasn't stopped him. We've talked about him going to St. Philip's College for CDL.
Let me ask you some. Well, I have to ask an informal question. So
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, what kind of work do you do?
Oh, I'm an HSE engineer on the petroleum industry.
Okay.
I've been doing that for the last decade and a half.
Okay, and so you and I have talked about Ethan's opportunities in the oil field, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you and I have discussed, and Ethan, I guess the goal is if he gets probation, that he wants to apply to be a commercial truck driver. Correct?
Yeah, he's already set up for his SAGE program at St. Philip's College, but we have to wait to see what happens here.
Okay, and then I guess as part of that, if he's able to finish his program as a commercial truck driver, he has a lot of opportunities for work in the oil field and the oil industry, correct?
Yeah, oh, well, as a service provider, not directly in the oil field, but as a service provider, yes.
Okay, can you tell the court what a service provider is?
So basically, you'd be transporting materials back and forth. Depending on the outcome of this court, will be determined whether or not he can get his TWIC.
Okay, tell the court what the TWIC is.
Transportation Work Identification Card. There are federal and felony restrictions to that. It's not always 100% that he won't be able to get his TWIC, but he could always get a waiver. The thing is it will limit his opportunities to be able to get a TWIC card if he doesn't get a waiver approved. But then he can still work with a CDL. He just won't have as much opportunities for advancement as he normally would.
But I guess what you're telling the court is Ethan has a lot of opportunities and possibilities facing him.
This is powerful. Even Ethan's father admits, yes, his son made a serious mistake. No sugarcoating, no denial. Just raw honesty. Parents in the comments, what would you do in his shoes? Defend your child at all costs, or acknowledge the truth like this dad?
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess I didn't see any violation reports or anything that's been filed. I guess, has Ethan been living with you since the incident?
100%. Yeah. I mean, all he does is work and come home and play on the Xbox. I mean, that's basically all he does.
Okay. So you haven't had any problems with him since
No.
then? Okay. And I guess, are you asking the court to give him an opportunity at probation?
Absolutely. I mean, he's not been in trouble before this or since this.
And we went over the PSI together, right? And you saw how serious the offense was, right?
Yes, and I would not. I mean, it's hard for me to say because obviously I want to do everything. I mean, I've got a private lawyer. I did everything I can to try to keep him out of jail, keep him out of prison, because that's not where he belongs. But to be honest with you, I read it and I understand what he did, and even as his father, I still can't say that I wouldn't have the same feelings or make the same statement that they made in the PSI.
Well, I think it's good that you're honest about this situation and recognize the severity of the situation, but also understand that, hopefully, given the opportunity, Ethan can be successful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge. And Judge, I had given these to Megan. These are just some of his withholding stuff and some of the state licensing stuff. Thank you.
All right.
That's all I have.
May I ask a question?
Of course.
All right. In regards to this incident,
Yes, ma'am.
was he living with you during this time?
Yes.
All right. And these people he was involved with, did you know them beforehand?
No. If I could clarify a little bit.
Sure.
So, military, firefighter, paramedic, and then I went into oil field patrolling. But prior to COVID, and actually up past COVID, I worked overseas, Venezuela, Africa, Mozambique. So I was gone quite a bit. So he predominantly stayed with me when I was in country, which was for 3 weeks at a time, every other month. But the rest of the time he stayed with his mother on that side of town.
Okay.
So yes, he had those friends, and Everything happened on the west side of town, southwest side of town. I live on going towards Florida off of 181. Since this incident, I've been home 100% of the time. I work in West Texas now. And yes, he lives with me 100% of the time now. So I'm not saying this is an excuse, because it's definitely not an excuse. I was absent a lot with him growing up because I was overseas. But it's not an excuse, because I was still there every other month and spent a lot of quality time with him. It might not have been quantity, but it was quality time for him to know that this was not what he should have done. But yes, now I'm with him 100%, or rather, he's with me 100% of the time.
All right. And did he talk to you about this incident
Yes.
immediately thereafter?
No, it took some prodding. I mean, more so because he felt when he did break down, you could tell that he was more ashamed of the fact that he did something that he let me down. I not necessarily overbearing, but the military and then firefighter, paramedic, and I've kind of a little bit structured a little bit when I was with my kids, both my kids. And so when he...
And here's the bombshell. Ethan did fire into an occupied home. 2 toddlers inside. Over 200 bullet holes. This takes the case from bad decision to unthinkable danger. At this point, the question isn't if he's guilty, but whether redemption is still possible.
He did break down and let me know about everything that happened. Obviously, I told him we need to do something about it. And in 2023, when we thought it was going to all be resolved in December, January with Michael, we said, okay, let's get back on track. And we spent the time and paid the money for him to get his commission with the state and, follow and work to the mother's commission as well. And said that, if you want to do that, fine. But we need to figure out the job. We need to figure out a career. And so we've been talking about the CEO and him getting with me in the oil field and trying to get away from him. And he has not been with those friends, well, obviously, because they're locked up, but he's not been involved with anybody on that side of town since.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions?
No, Judge.
And I know you're silent, but any questions about?
I know you stated that you understand. So did you view the police reports in this case, or?
Not since the incident, yes.
Okay.
But not obviously when he was arrested.
Okay. So, you understand that your son made an agreement with these individuals. So these individuals told him, hey, this is what we're going to go do. And your son agreed to go with them. You understand that, correct?
Yes.
And your son did fire his firearm into that house.
Yes, he did.
And it was occupied by multiple people. There were 2 2-year-olds inside that home.
Yeah, and I told him, despite the fact that they didn't believe anybody was there, you still fired.
Yes. And besides the 2 2-year-olds that were there, there were other adult individuals in the home as well. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And one of the victims describes that there were over 200 bullet holes inside their home. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And your son was aware of this and agreed.
Notice this courtroom chess match. The defense pushes back, arguing the state's questions go beyond silence. This may seem small, but these technicalities often sway outcomes. Do you think the state should truly stay silent? Or should facts always come out?
To engage in this type of conduct back in 2022.
From what I understand, and only from my son's recollection, is that he didn't think it was going to be all what it ended up becoming. Yes, he knew what they were going to go do, but he didn't believe it was going to be as impactful as it was.
So I guess, it's my understanding, he just didn't believe that the home was occupied, but he understood that he was.
Yeah, but he didn't understand that they were going to do as much damage as they ended up doing.
Okay, but he still engaged.
Yes.
Shooting firearms.
Yes.
You pass the witness.
Are there any other questions?
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me some insights into your son.
Thank you.
Thank you. So,
Any other witnesses?
yes, Judge, I do want to call Axel. I have some issues, I think, as far as if the state's going to be silent. I think cross-examining the witnesses in a manner in which Megan is doing, I think kind of exceeds the scope of the silent. So
All right, well, the court will